Boom. Welcome. We're live. Get started here in a minute. Okay. Boom. We're live. Welcome. We'll get started here. All right. We're on day 68 of the contractor challenges, AI prompts. So if you are new, what we do is I'll go over some content for a few minutes. If you have any questions about remodeling, construction in general, just pop them in the chat and we'll go. Just let me know where you're from to start and what your niche or specialty is. We're just getting started. It's going to take a second getting the content up. I'll share the screen on the YouTube. That's at the Remodeling Academy. So really, we're talking about like first impressions, how important it is to have a good first impression with the homeowner. All right, we're not going to be able to share the screen. It's doing the. So here we go. So when you want to work with a homeowner, right, you have to figure out how long does it take the homeowner to decide if they're going to trust you. And usually it takes 7 seconds. Those first few seconds when you pull up to their driveway, park in front of their house, they're analyzing you as the contractor. They're looking at your truck. Like when you open the front door, does your sandwich and trash and Gatorade bottles fall out? Or do you have your nice, shirt, your hat's on straight? You walk out, you look organized, you carry in your notebook or iPad. That's what the homeowner's looking for. You want to build confidence, and they've done a lot of studies on this, right? So here, let's take a peek. Homeowners are processing you as the contractor in the back of their mind. They're doing it subconsciously. We all do it. When you're out in public and you're just scanning and meeting people, right? You make certain judgments and really quickly, right? So here's what happens. The first meeting at the client's house, look more professional. That's going to help you come across as more professional, which is going to help them have more confidence in your more professional process and your more professional price. Okay. Then think about how do you prepare them once they say, all right, we want to hire you because your proposal looks good, right? The first impression of your proposal. And then we move into the pre-construction meeting, and the first impression of that is important. So how do you show up? How does your crew look? How did the subs show up? Does everyone park well, right? And then how about the first day on the job? All of these are your first impressions with the homeowner. So if you've had a good pre-construction meeting, you already know where to park your vehicles, which is big. A lot of homeowners get very frustrated because contractors will just park in random spots. So whoever's the lead on your job, if you have like a project manager or a lead carpenter, they should already have had a discussion with the homeowner. Hey, we're going to have like 4 vehicles here and maybe a trailer, maybe an equipment trailer, maybe a dump trailer. Like, where are we parking these things? And then your guys should make sure like that if their vehicle, if the crankcase leaks, if the oil pan leaks, they should be putting something under the vehicle to catch that leak so that you're not staining the homeowner's driveway, right? You're not leaving a big oil stain out in the street, especially if they have like a specialty driveway, like a tile, stamped concrete, something like that, right? All these things matter. And homeowners, the more money that a homeowner has, typically the nicer of appearance they would like your crew to have as well. So Some guys are like, well, why can't I drive the old beater truck? I mean, the reality is homeowners feel safer when they're dealing with someone who looks well together, right? Everything looks safe and clean and neat and organized. So often, if you're struggling to sell jobs for more money, think about things like that. How nice is your vehicle? How nice do you present yourself? How structured are your proposals? Okay. All of that comes together. Now, let's see. If you leave a lot of doubt in the client's mind, all that's going to come back and they're going to be beating you up on price. Okay. The client wants to know that they're getting their money's worth. Okay. It's like going to a fine restaurant. You're willing to pay more for the steak than if you're coming in to like a fast food type restaurant. All right. And so hopefully on your job sites, you guys are using some sort of a message board, and there you're posting your job site policies. You're posting the procedures, how your company goes about doing a job. You're posting a set of the plans, a copy of the permit, right? And a copy of the schedule, so that and the scope, so that everyone understands. And your guys should be working off of that scope, and they cross things off. That way everyone, the homeowner, understands right where you are all the time. We leave a message log on the job site too. And now most of this is also digital, but it helps to have it in paper form, especially if you're doing it in the homeowner's house. Now, if you're doing spec houses or rehabs, no, you don't have to do all this. But if you're working inside the homeowner's house, they like to see that you have a process for how you communicate. Yesterday, we talked about the importance of that pre-construction meeting and the structure that you go through in that. And make sure that your guys, if you tell your homeowners that you work between like 7 and 3, make sure your crew understands that they should be arriving to the job site like at 6:45, right? For them, and be ready to start. Homeowners like a nice structure. Homeowners don't want you there all day, every day, for the most part. Every now and then you might want to run into one who really wants you guys on the clock. But most homeowners have a structure for themselves, and they can't relax when you're in the house working. So they're going to want their house back. And most of the time, that's right after the kids get out of school or they're getting off of work. All right. So what if you've already been skipping things like this? Well, that's the time to go back and get structure back in place. Okay. Here's an AI prompt that you can use. You want to act as an experienced remodeling client, strategist, and you want to build a protocol that'll help you build trust moving forward with all your homeowners and jobs. Pardon. All right. And you want to come up with a template packet. You'll do your walkthrough. So, all right. Any questions? Anybody on that wants to discuss remodeling and the client experience? We'll talk about what happens on the job site, how to work with that. So Harvard's done a business study, right? And they understand that those first 7 seconds are very important. So again, be aware of that when your first interaction, your first interaction, your project manager's first interaction, all of your crews, explain that to your crews. Say, guys, you should almost around the corner take a minute and get yourself organized so that when you pull up to the homeowner's house, you look like you're professional. You're ready to go. You don't want to be trying to get organized in the client's driveway. That frustrates people. So usually a logo, hat, and shirt makes it very nice. Homeowners feel very good about that. A magnet or clean vehicle, right? Get all the crap out of the dash. Everyone prefers to see someone who can take a note Believe it or not, writing something either on an iPad or in a piece of paper is still, the homeowner feels like that means you're paying attention. If you just nod your head, that doesn't work. And trying to take it on a phone, homeowners they don't get the impression that you're paying attention. They think that you're just trying to text people all the time. So I would suggest you try taking notes. It shows respect that you're garnishing and giving to the homeowner and the project. All right. The guys need to have a nice workstation. So that should be gone over in the pre-construction meeting. Where are we going to be staging the materials? Where are we going to be staging debris? Like if a homeowner has a 2-3 car garage, a lot of times they'll be willing to sacrifice part of the garage for the duration of the project, which is nice. So you can set up staging areas. When we do kitchen remodels, we'll often set up a temporary kitchen in like a living room or dining room. So when you're doing your demo phase, sometimes you can salvage part of their original kitchen setup and put that in as a temporary. Set up a coffee station for them, set up a microwave station. That way the homeowner can still do some things, because for the next 6 weeks, they're not going to have a kitchen. Some contractors are doing trailers, camping trailers that have a kitchen set up in them. You can, and they provide that to the homeowner, and they can park that out in the driveway or in the yard somewhere. And that way the homeowner can at least go out and still prepare a meal, especially if they have families. Gets challenging if you have kids. And the average person just doesn't. Yes, I know a lot of people eat out more now than ever, but some people, being forced to eat out every day for 6 weeks can be challenging in and of itself. So, any questions? Welcome. If you're new, just let me know where you're from, what your specialty is. And if you have any questions regarding remodeling in general, if you have any questions about any of the videos I've put up recently. All right. What I can talk about then, how do you handle that? So yesterday we went through a pre-construction meeting, right? And I'll give you a little bit of a breakdown in there. Remember, it's all, obviously there's the introduction, and you're letting the homeowner know the point of the pre-construction meeting is the project goes from sales, whoever sold it, and you hand it over to whoever now is going to produce it. That goes to production. And pre-construction meeting happens before you start the remodel, right? You walk the space that's being remodeled. You look at key items like go check the electrical panel, if maybe check in on the plumbing, the HVAC system, look at the substructure if you can get from below, right? Look from the exterior, interior. Discuss how you're going to protect the floors. Discuss how you're going to put up dust protection, zip walls. And then discuss how the team is going to communicate, because at the moment the homeowner is used to calling the salesperson, but once construction starts, the communication chain shifts, and now it goes from project manager. Typically, homeowner now contacts the project manager. The salesman lets the homeowner know, hey, I'm not like leaving the company, but you don't call me anymore. You call Joey, the project manager, and I'll still stop by periodically. Your better salespeople will not get scared, and they will swing by a project occasionally as it's happening. Not often, but they can at least come by once, maybe twice. The homeowner always seems to enjoy that. So that's what your top salespeople do. I'm not saying all will do it, but the top ones will. Discuss how demolition is going to take place. Discuss where you're going to be dropping the dumpster. Discuss the time the guys are going to show up on site, where they're going to park. Discuss what time they leave, right? Discuss how they'll be, when a new sub comes, that communication should always still come from the project manager first. Okay. Ideally, your project manager will be on site when the subs show up so he can make a proper, or her can make a proper introduction. That always helps. And ask the homeowner if they have any questions. You go over the scope again just to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Remember that homeowners, before they hired you, often talked to 3, 4 different contractors, and they may have forgotten that they might have had a conversation with a different contractor and they didn't talk to you. Hold on, somebody's got some comments. Let me see what's happening. I don't know why they're filtering these comments. Bear with me, guys. I apologize. Somebody, if you're making a comment, East Coast, Maryland. Hi, Jacob. Thank you. If you're still on here, for some reason, TikTok is filtering your comments. But yeah, out of Maryland. How about yourself, Jacob? Where are you from? So, at the pre-construction meeting, you want to talk with the homeowner, ask them any questions that they have, any concerns that they have. Also, if they have pets, make sure that you're discussing who's going to be managing the pets, because it's not you, it's not your guys. You are not a pet person, a dog sitter, a cat sitter, right? So if the homeowner has pets, they have to make arrangements. Typically with cats, they need to be locked in a room or another area of the house. Dogs can be crated or leashed, right? But you should not be the one who's responsible for making sure that, and if the homeowner says, oh, your guys can just make sure the dog doesn't or the cat doesn't get out. No, you can't. Because as a contractor, you're going to be moving in and out of the house. Your guys are going to be carrying things. They're going to have their hands full. So, Jacob, what I would do if I were you is, you're the homeowner looking to get a price from a contractor? Okay. Yeah, so I, I couldn't give you a price. You could try, you'd have to talk to somebody in your area who knows what the permits are going to cost and what's involved. I mean, do you have a concrete slab? Do you already have plumbing? So, have any of your neighbors had an ADU unit put in recently that you've seen that you like? You could ask them, but there could be a lot of variables, right? I mean, you're putting in a kitchen, a bathroom. Yeah. Are you putting it above the garage? Is it going in the garage? So there's just a lot of variables. I would, I wouldn't even know. I'm sure it's like, unfortunately. Some nights we've had guys on here. We have a guy in San Diego some days that's on this live. He might be able to answer that for you. I'm on the East Coast, so I wouldn't be able to. If you get dimensions, you get some draw. Have you met with someone to have a design done? My first step, if I were you, I would hire a contractor that does design build, and you hire them for the design phase. That might cost you like 2,500 bucks, 5,000. I'm not quite sure how big your garage is and how big this, but anyway, you pay for the design, you get a set of plans, you know exactly where the kitchen's going, where the bath's going, where the door is going to be, where the bedroom's going, the living room. Then that contractor can give you a price to build it to the plans. Or here's the thing, you can show those plans to another contractor, and that way all the contractors are giving you the price for the same thing. Because if you just invite like 3 or 4 contractors over to get a price, in their mind, they're all going to be thinking different things. And your prices are going to be all over the place, and you won't be comparing an apple to an apple. So in my opinion, you want to get a design done first, actual set of plans. And you don't have to go to an architect. I would go to a contractor that does design build and ask them to do a design for you. And then you can hire them or you can hire someone else. That's how we would do it. If you were here or if I lived where you were and you contacted me, we would do your design first. So hopefully that helps you. Yeah, here's the thing. A lot of homeowners make a mistake. They just start calling up contractors to get estimates. And then that's why they have all these problems when the construction starts and there's like change orders and it's backwards. The way the process works is you get your plans first, then you get the estimates or the cost to builds. So you got it, brother. Thanks for tuning in. All right. Well, that's all we got time for today. So Jacob, good luck. If you're on again and you see me live, hop on in. Let us know how the process is going. If you need help, message me and I can reach out to some contractors. You let me know like what neighborhood, maybe your zip code. If you let me know where you sort of live, I can reach out to the contractors I know. We might be able to find you somebody to work with. Okay, somebody that's going to be legitimate and do a nice project for you. Okay, so you can, if you like and follow the account, you should be able to send me a private message. And like I said, just let me know your zip code. And if you want, you could take a photo and whatever. I'll put it out. I have contacts all across the country when I do these lives, and I'll put it out there for you, and we'll see if we can get you somebody. Okay. All right. Thanks for being here. You guys have a good one.